Is monogamy stupid and unnatural? For those of you who do not know what monogamy means, I'm pretty sure it means having one sexual partner, but if I'm wrong, correct me. Anyways, that's what this video will be about. Intro. What the hell? Is it better to have one sexual partner or to have infinity? The conservative, of course, is going to tell you one because of the whole institution of marriage and religion and all that mumbo jumbo. And then the liberal is also full of mumbo jumbo, and they're going to tell you the whole thing is like, oh, you should have infinity sexual partners. Oh, evolution, alright? It's in our nature to fuck as many people as possible because that's what propagates our genes the most effectively, and our emotional structure is therefore based around propagating genes as efficiently as possible, blah, 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 right? And that argument is also stupid. I can easily refute it. Both are wrong as always. The truth is always in the middle. Both conservatives and liberals are idiots. The idea, you know, something is right because of religion is pretty well established that that's bad thinking, right? There's a lot of people who are going to tell you that, and I don't think you need me to explain that as well, alright? So I'm going to mainly refute the liberal argument, and don't take that as I'm a conservative. Now here's where people keep fucking up their thinking, alright? And especially psychologists, they really love to fuck up this concept of evolution, alright? Now evolution does make things better at surviving and reproducing, right? That's what evolution does, and it does that because things that suck at surviving die off, and they can't pass on their genes. But the thing that they always fuck up is this concept that of neutral and negative traits. And it's like, because of evolution, neutral and negative traits cannot be passed on, which is just, it's stupid. They don't have that idea ingrained in their brain. So as a result, they try to give an evolutionary explanation for everything, which makes no fucking sense, alright? Like, let's say your wisdom teeth. They're clearly detrimental, alright? They fuck up all your other teeth, giving you a lot of infections, they give you pain, right? So obviously there's a lot of neutral and negative traits that are going to get passed on. As long as those neutral and negative traits are not detrimental enough to block off your reproduction and surviving, then they are going to be passed on. So for example, your pinky toe, it doesn't do anything, but it's not like heavy enough or big enough that it prevents you from walking or something, so it's going to get passed on, right? Your appendix doesn't do anything. It gets passed on, all right? And the same thing applies to the mind. Like, psychologists are always trying to say, like, everything has an evolutionary purpose, you know? But the truth is, a lot of our emotions are useless, detrimental shit. You could say they're basically diseases, like depression. Now, the next thing they fuck up is this idea where it's like, because an emotion results in a certain action, they say that the purpose of the emotion is the result, which is retarded, okay? Like, for example, they're going to say the purpose of fear is to help you survive. That's not true at all. Survival is a byproduct of fear. Now, let me just show you what I mean, alright? Let's say we existed in hell, alright? Hell, a very, very scary, painful place. Fear would not be helping us survive. Fear would be helping us kill ourselves instantly, alright? Like, okay, let's say tomorrow you're gonna get tortured to death. They're gonna like pop your eyeballs out and, you know, grind you into pieces, right? And you have a gun. I would be like, fuck, I am scared. I am not gonna go through that. Bam, done, right? Like, fear would help you kill yourself. Now with humans, emotional needs aren't so simple in that an emotion can be detrimental or harmful depending on how the person learns to satisfy that need, right? So for example, one guy can satisfy his pride by being the craziest extreme skier, and that dramatically jeopardizes his ability to survive. And another person can satisfy pride by being this like super healthy, you know, nutrition freak, right? So you can see how it can go both ways. But I agree with the premise that overall, the way the human brain works in the average person causes more survival than death. Now, where does this all come into play? Okay, well, the psychologist is going to tell you, you know, because of evolution, obviously people are better at surviving and passing on their genes if they fuck a billion people, so therefore our emotions are designed to make us fuck a billion people, and therefore fucking a billion people is what's going to make people happier, All right, and that is a flawed argument for the exact reason I said, in that the human emotional needs are much more complicated than that. Now, this is the fundamental division in how people reason, all right? There's kind of two big categories that most people are going to fall under, and that's the degenerative mind and the creative mind, all right? The degenerative mind, the best way to describe it is they need a million things, and they find one use for each thing, all right? The creative mind needs as few things as possible. They like to have like one or two things and find a million uses for them. Now, depending which type of mind you have, that's going to determine whether you're going to be happier in a monogamous relationship or in a polygamous relationship. Now, the degenerative mind is going to grow bored of pretty much anybody, all right? No matter how awesome you are, they're going to grow bored of you. No matter how beautiful, no matter how interesting you are, once they understand you, once they've tasted your flavor, they're going to grow bored of you, all right? It's like a little kid eating candy, all right? He might really want it really bad, but once he starts having it for a while, his brain is going to grow bored of it, all right? And people like that, yeah, you're going to be happier fucking a million people. You need that variety. You lack the creativity to live a monogamous relationship, all right? Now, somebody who's creative, they definitely don't need a million people. They'd be happier with fewer people, and the fewest people you can have is one. The creative mind doesn't grow bored. The creative mind can see infinite potential in something as simple as a pencil. So for something as complicated as a human, being entertained is really easy. There's a trillion different ways they can see beauty in a person. There's a trillion different ways they can see love in a person. There's a trillion different ways they can see humor in a person, and they can grow in all these things too. So in a sexual relationship, of course, a degenerative mind is going to grow bored, and they're going to want variety in probably a week, right? And the creative mind will probably never get bored, all right? And it's also important to remember that love is also a large element of relationships and sexual relationships. So I'm going to talk a bit about love now. Now, the next reason why monogamy is a good thing is because some people value love much higher than they value lust. Everybody says, "Oh, I value love," right? But they don't. The truth is they're just saying that so they can have sex, right? That's the truth, all right? They're faking love to get sex, all right? And the truth is most people do value lust higher. But if you value love, love works very, very well in a monogamous term, in that if you have one person you truly love and just you share that profound relationship with them, that tends to work better than when you divide and share love, because that creates extreme amount of jealousy. And you can see it like even with a simple creature like a dog, right? As soon as you start giving, you get two dogs, you start giving one dog all this love and attention, then the other dog's gonna come up to you all sad, don't you want to play with me? So no, I think love is monogamous, and it depends whether a love or lust is a stronger driving force in you. Now, people like to say this whole thing where it's like, I'm born this way, I can never change, right? And that I'm born with a degenerative mind, I'm born with a lustful heart, right? And I can't change. But that's just because it's a lot easier to say you're born away and can't change than it is to accept the fact you realistically probably can change your emotional nature. Now, the reason why I'm saying it's good to alter your nature is I don't think a degenerative, lustful nature is a good nature to have. I think it's a bad nature to have. I think a loving, creative nature is a good nature to have. People should try to condition themselves to be like that. And the reason why is this is a quote from the Bible, and again, I'm not promoting Christianity here, but it's a good quote from the Bible, okay? And it's one of the things, I used to be Christian, all right? I'm agnostic now, and I like this quote, and there's a lot of truth to it. It's by Jesus Christ. He said, "The measure of a man is not how much it takes to satisfy him, but how little." And I think there's a huge amount of truth in that, when we have a degenerative mind and we require a million things to be happy, then we're never going to be satisfied, because it's so hard to get all these things, right? It's a lot harder to get a million things than it is to get one thing, and it also takes a million times more things to make one person happy, right? So the less a person takes to be happy, the more they can contribute and give to others. So There is a lot of truth to that, I think. And there's a lot of bad things Jesus said too. So there you go, that is your answer. Will you be happier in polygamy or in monogamy? It depends entirely on your nature, and it depends entirely on if you can change your nature, right? Most people can. So that's something for you to think about. If you like this video, subscribe, check out my other videos, and visit our website at logicalmorality.com. If you have any questions or a topic you'd like for me to make a future video on, let me know. Anything at all, you know? You want me to make a video on, you know, gay donkey porn? Sure, I'll do it just for you.